What's going on, folks? We have a crazy and disturbing story out of California. A quote-unquote data breach exposes private info of all California concealed carry permit holders, where the California Department of Justice claims to have made a mistake by releasing personal info of all concealed carry permit holders. Let's watch a quick news story about it.
For now, though, developing tonight, the state of California under fire after posting a list of every person with a permit to carry a concealed gun, including their names, addresses, and phone numbers. The list included celebrities, judges, even victims of domestic violence.
CBS 13's Laura Hafley is live outside the Department of Justice with the concerns many gun owners are raising now. Laura.
Well, this goes way beyond a simple filing error. The AG's office releasing a list of names, birthdays, gender, race, and home addresses of every single person in the state of California with a concealed carry weapons permit. This all happened last night after the AG released a website in the effort to be more transparent when it comes to gun safety. The website had in it firearm safety information, record sales, and a link to a portal of concealed carry permit holders. Except when you clicked on that portal, thousands of columns came up with all of that personal information included that I just mentioned. Now, that website has since been taken down, but too late. Victims already saw it. One who spoke to us about the danger this has put his family in.
Even most of my family members do not know that I have a concealed weapons permit. I have a good reason to get it. I got it because my spouse was being stalked by a violent abuser, and we had...
Now, to follow up on this LA Times story, the California Department of Justice suffered the breach as part of the launch of its 2022 Firearms Dashboard Portal, according to the Fresno County Sheriff's Office, which said it was informed of the leak Tuesday by the California State Sheriff's Association. This public site allows certain access to information. However, personal information of concealed carry weapon permit holders is not supposed to be visible, the Sheriff's Office said in a statement. This includes but is not limited to a person's name, address, age, criminal identification index number, and license type. The breach affects all concealed weapons permit holders in California, the Sheriff's Office said. Justice Department officials pulled down the dashboard site after learning of the breach. It's unknown exactly how much time the information was accessible. Very sketchy stuff. Was this really a mistake? Personally, I'm not buying it. Let's talk about it. The show starts now. What's going on, everybody? So the Department of Justice, they're claiming it was a breach of data. They just launched this website. It was supposed to be a transparent firearms website, and as they launched it, they mistakenly, by mistake, I'm going to talk about whether I buy that or not, had transparency, so much transparency that pretty much every single person that has a concealed carry permit got doxxed, and their information about everything was revealed. First off, whether you're left-wing or right-wing, Republican or Democrat, people need to understand how dangerous this is that they did this. If anybody did this, they would probably go to jail forever. But the government does it. Oh, just another mistake. Oh, our bad. You know, there are people who are suffering like rapists, maybe ex-husbands or ex-wives that are like crazy, threatening them. It's not that easy to get a concealed carry permit in California. You usually need to have a reason. They're looking for a reason to give you that permission to do that in a state where it's not easy to carry guns as much as open carry states. So most of the people, I'm not going to say all, but most of the people who have concealed carry permits have it for a reason to protect themselves, and they have a legitimate reason. Many of them are extremely severe, like I said, rapists, threateners, people threatening to murder them. That's why they're concealed carry. That's why they filed a permit and successfully got it. So the fact that the government by a mistake had a breach and released all of the private information of every single concealed carry permit owner in California, it's evil, it's dangerous, and if they weren't the government, they'd probably go to jail forever. But because it's the government, it doesn't matter what they do, drone strike people, lie, cover stuff up, steal your money. It's like legalized theft. California especially, now we have the question of, was it a leak? Was it a breach? They're calling it a breach, but I read the article and it seems a little bit fishy in my personal opinion. This is just my opinion, but if this would have been up for like months and somebody had hacked the website and just got all the information, maybe I would buy it more. But the fact that they just launched this transparency website, and as they're launching, everybody's information is up, it's either one of two things. Either they purposely leaked it like psychopaths, and you know how the left wing and the Democrats are. They hate gun owners. They hate the Second Amendment. This is not the most gun-friendly state in the country. In fact, almost the opposite. So it's just shocking that this mistake wasn't made in Texas. This mistake wasn't made in Tennessee. This mistake wasn't even made in a swing state like Pennsylvania. This mistake just so happened to be made in California, where they hate guns and would love to take them off the streets. Wow, fascinating mistake. So it's either they purposely did it, which I'm not going to accuse them of because I don't know that, or they're completely incompetent, which isn't any better. This is why a lot of people treat me like I'm weird when I'm not trying to give my information all the time. And people are like, oh, what are you so afraid of? It's like, I'm not a paranoid person, but everybody's got your social security number. Everybody's got your address. Everybody wants everything all the time, your credit card, your info, this and that. If people were responsible, I wouldn't really care that much because I buy and sell stuff all the time. But it's like, you get what I'm saying? You give all your information to these dummies in the government, and now all of a sudden your information's all over the internet because they're either too fake or stupid to keep it private and do their job. So with all of the billions of dollars in taxpayers, all the state taxes I pay to this stupid state, I love the land, I love the people, I love the mountains, I love the ocean, but the government of California is the most corrupt government, or one of the most corrupt governments in the country. It's because they don't have competition. They could do stupid crap like this and people will still vote them in for some reason. You know what I'm saying? They can just literally lock you in your house like you're a prisoner for 2 years, and somehow Gavin Newsom isn't even going to face competition. It's a complete joke in this state. But it's like, you know, either they're completely incompetent with the billions of dollars of taxes that they give us, or they're evil. I don't know. I would say it's a combination of both. I don't know if this was really a breach or a mistake or just crappy coding, crappy, you know, which is like when Obama launched the website with millions upon billions of dollars and it didn't work. You know, he had like tens or hundreds of millions of dollars, whatever. It's like, you know, you got all this money to get the best everything. And, you know, you steal tens of thousands of dollars from me all the time with taxes, and you can't even bare minimum not release the names of people who have concealed carry permits, many of which who certainly are at risk by you releasing their info. These people, someone should be held accountable. But just like lockdowns, I'm not trying to rant for too long because I want this to be a shareable video and I have other stuff to show you. But just like with the lockdowns, no one gets held accountable. Oops, we just destroyed 1 million businesses. No one gets held accountable. Oops, we just released the private info of all these people who got a concealed carry weapon because they're at risk of something. Oh no, oh my gosh, no one's going to get held accountable. No one's going to get voted out of office. You know, California, wake the hell up, because the reason these people are so pathetic, evil, and incompetent is because everybody just allows them to do so. That's why when you listen to these people who have communist-style ideology, they hate competition. Competition's evil. What we need is government intervention. No, competition is good. When you go to a city, why is the food good in New York City and Los Angeles? It's because there's competition. You take away that competition, you know, like they want to, just like in government, they have no competition politically, so they're horrible. They're like rotting corpses just destroying the state. So don't let them take away competition in the cities and the states. That's why they want to do it. And please give California some competition in Sacramento, because they're doing terrible work and they don't care. They fear nothing. They steal your money every year. Tax season, steal your money. Tax season, steal your money. Oh, we have billions of dollars. Oh, well, we'll just leak everything or breach it or have bad infrastructure. Who knows what they're doing? I want to show you two things real quick, but when it comes to crime data, there's new crime data out that shows that there are less murders being charged than ever, or being, I guess, found, you know, solved murder mysteries. Let's take a look at it. This is recent CBS investigative report. Chris said, some details from my first investigation with CBS News. Cops in the U.S. only solve about half of the murders in the United States. It's at the lowest rate ever recorded. So despite the fact that we have cell phones and cameras everywhere, they're solving less murders than ever. I have some reasons why I think that's happening. He also said that black victims' murders are less likely to be solved than even Hispanic, white, or other. And if we scroll down in a second, I'll show you some more statistics. Fewer Chicago homicides, case and result charges, so they're letting people off the hook in Chicago easier than ever. So I have a few reasons why I think all those things are happening, racially and in general. Why are murders being solved less now than ever? It's a little bit weird because we have cell phones. It should be easier than it was 40 years ago to solve a murder mystery. Cell phones, everything's being tracked. Cameras are everywhere, street corner, every building. It should be wildly easy to solve a murder. Why are we having less when we should have more? I have one reason. I'm guessing forced masking didn't help in 2020. Oh, what changed in 2020? Well, besides the fact that the trend was already going down, You have masking. So in 2019, if I came to a bank and I was going to commit some sort of crime, it's like, hey, you shouldn't have a ski mask on. This is a bank. You look like a criminal. And now, thanks to the CDC and Fauci and Dr. Birx and all these other Looney Tunes in both parties, it's like, oh, excuse me, sir, can you put a ski mask on before you enter my bank? Because you could cough on somebody and spread this virus. It's like, you know, we've literally inverted society where criminals used to not wear face masks because it would be weird, to everybody dressing like a criminal everywhere because our health agencies told us if we get fatter, sit at home, watch, crappy cable television, drink beer, eat high fructose corn syrup, canola oil, and sit inside for 3 months and just let our kids get obese, then all of a sudden we're going to be healthier because we're dressed like a criminal on our faces. You know, it's like, yeah, maybe that had something to do with it. Now you could easily disguise yourself in public. It used to look out of pocket and weird. Now it's just status quo. It's like, why don't you have a ski mask on, sir? I don't know, because I'm breathing air. Do you mind? That probably didn't help in 2020. And also, they showed in Chicago people are getting charged less. And they said even in white neighborhoods or white areas that they're solving crimes more. I have even a reason for the racial and demographic when it comes to Chicago, why they're probably letting people off and not solving that many murders. When you have these areas like South Side of Chicago, when you have areas like Philadelphia, New York City, DC, every city has bad areas where like the crime is high and there's a lot of gang activity. This has become normalized, and the media is more concerned with Joe Rogan's doctors, Dr. McCullough and Dr. Malone, than they are with gang violence in Chicago of kids getting murdered in broad daylight. They're more interested in Joe Rogan's podcast than they are with Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein, the human trafficking, people who got charged on probably one of the biggest rackets in modern history. Oh, you care more about Dr. Robert Malone than Ghislaine Maxwell? I wonder why that doesn't get solved. Oh, you care more about blaming a police officer for 3 years than you do about gang violence in black neighborhoods? I wonder why they're not getting solved, because it's become normalized. It's become normalized and it's become swept under the rug. Television, mass media, music is normalizing gang violence. There's rappers all the time that say just kill somebody for $300 and, rob a grandma. There's songs literally telling people to rob grandmas on Spotify, yet Bryson Gray is kicked off of Spotify for questioning the LGBT movement and, criticizing Pride Month aggressively. Oh, that's the big problem, right? Bryson Gray criticizing gay stuff, but you're allowing gang violence to thrive in rap music, and it's actually being promoted by non-black people. Oh, weird. Isn't that weird? All these executives are not even black, but they're promoting gang violence. I wonder why they want black people to kill themselves in inner cities. It's pretty evil. It's pretty messed up. I wonder why they don't cover last weekend when a girl gets shot. I wonder why they don't care. They don't give a crap. So the reason it's not being solved in these areas is because they're not even trying to. Everybody's priorities are so screwed up. The Democrats are living an upside-down world. I'm not a police apologist, but it's like, they'll spend 3 years looking at a white cop and ignore thousands of black people killing other people in the streets. So I'm not surprised these murders don't get solved, because it's like status quo in these neighborhoods. A lot of police don't even want to go in there. They're not welcome there. People don't like them in many areas, and they're being underpaid, etc., under-supported by the media. Why would murders get solved when you have areas of the country where it's literally cultural to just do that? And also, you have forced masking has become the status quo, where everybody dresses like a bank robber, and if you're not dressed like a bank robber, you're the problem. We're living an upside down world. And before I end this video and keep it short so you guys can share it with a friend, let's talk about more upside down world where Joe Rogan's guests are more important than the biggest child traffickers in modern history. Ghislaine Maxwell recently got sentenced to 20 years in prison, yet the media seems to give more backlash to two doctors on a podcast questioning Big Pharma and citing valid studies than they were about who Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were working with or for. If only they had the motivation to dig into that story, as much as they're willing to host every Stormy Daniels who comes along to question Donald Trump or people they don't like. Why isn't the media digging into this story with the same ambition? Seems important. Let me know what you think. So that's it, folks. I mean, the state of California, the Department of Justice, your taxpayer dollars are going to doxing all legal firearm permit, concealed carry permit holders by a mistake, this magical mistake of this breach that they made. Was it a breach or was it incompetence? Because if it was up for weeks and somebody hacked it, that's one thing. But if you just launched it haphazardly and you didn't have good coders and good people involved, it's your fault. And it is your fault either way. Get some good cybersecurity, get some good coders. But me personally, I'm not convinced they didn't do this purposely. They hate gun owners. They hate what's up is up, down is down, left is right, right is left. They pretend to be feminists for 20 years, a bunch of beta males that just probably want to get laid. I'm a feminist. I care about women. They do that for 20 years, and then when push comes to shove, they're like, what is a woman even? It's like, what more evil, deceitful, snake-like activism is to pretend to stand for women's rights and women's justice for decades and then pretend to not know what a woman is when you have a biologically born male destroying them in sports and taking over their entire spotlight as if they don't even exist as a gender anymore. These people are literally like demonic, backwards, like idiots. So, God bless you guys. Share this video if you think it's interesting. Stay calm, stay peaceful, stay aware. And this is what's going to happen to California. I love it here because I don't live in Los Angeles or one of these hellhole, declining Sodom and Gomorrah failed areas. However, if they keep screwing up like this and keep raising taxes, just like millions of people, I might be on my way out eventually if they make it unlivable. So I pray. There's millions of good people in California. There's still millions of conservative areas, nice areas. There's millions of good liberals who aren't even really paying attention that much. They're just doing their job and living their life. But the government of California is rotten to a core because they have no competition. They have no Republican competition. It's one big circle jerk among all these elites. A lot of times with the mayors, they're just rotating and they don't even care. They face no competition. At least in Pennsylvania, other states, there's competition. Democrats can't just run away with it for 30 years. Here, people got to wake up because this type of mistake that they made by releasing the info, we're not talking about just people that are MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. I guarantee you that there's thousands upon tens of thousands of registered Democrats who conceal carry because they have a rapist or somebody after them and they're women trying to protect themselves. People who get concealed carries, it's not just nilly-willy. A lot of people need it and they're approved of it even by a liberal state of California because they desperately need to protect themselves. Releasing this type of information should lead to, in my opinion, at minimum, a resignation. At minimum, a resignation. I mean, if a normal citizen did something like this, it would be crazy. I know there's probably going to be a lawsuit. I'm not sure how easy it is to sue the government, but there might be lawsuits over this, and the state of California might lose billions of dollars. They definitely should. But that's the business model, folks. Before I leave, this is why government's so corrupt. I just want to break it down simply. Amazon is corrupt, but they also make a great service. I'm not this big Bezos fan, but you order something for $10, it comes to you immediately. Amazon works. I'm not saying they're not corrupt. I'm not saying they couldn't be better, but Amazon is very good, at what they do. With the government, they're just stealing your money every year. They don't have to do supply and demand. It's not like they bring it, you pay them. You know what I'm saying? If they really screwed up, they wouldn't be able to thrive forever. The government just steals your money every year. I don't have a choice. I have to pay, or else they're going to John McAfee me or try to throw me in jail. You know what I'm saying? You have to pay taxes or else they'll come. I mean, I guess you could try not to, but it's illegal. You get what I'm saying? It's like you just keep giving them their money. They dox you. You give them their money. They try to take things away from you. You give them your money. They lock you down, and no one's ever held accountable. No one ever seems to resign over this stuff. And in California, more than any other state, for some reason, the dingbats in San Francisco and Los Angeles and San Diego keep voting for these idiots. If you took Los Angeles and San Francisco and Sacramento off of the California map, California would go red almost every time. You know what I'm saying? It's not the whole state that feels this way. It's these dingbats who live in these, declining Sodom and Gomorrah cities where crime is growing rampant, trash is everywhere. It's like, what the hell are you guys doing? Why do you keep voting that way? Appreciate you guys. God bless you. That's the story of the day. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I might do another live stream. I'm keeping this one brief. That's the story. God bless y'all, and stay safe, stay peaceful, and make America great again by just being a better person than these losers in Sacramento and Washington.